G'day guys, welcome back. I'm having a little play with some pendants today. Now, do you remember when I did this one? Love, this is my favorite. And I used these seafoam inserts that you can buy on my eBay store. So basically you make these. I have got a video on making those. And I just cut the shape that I want out of them. So that's them there, and you can do different colors. You can do black, you can do gold. If you saw my video on these, I used a black one, a gold one, and a white one. So that's that. But today I thought I'm going to use these again, but I want to use these cute little turtles. Aren't they gorgeous? That's the back. See, it looks like a seafoam shape on the back there, doesn't it? So I'm going to put my seafoam in the center, and I bought a whole bag of them. How they come. I just got them from Amazon. So you could use them as pendants. You could put a chain on. The little hole though is a bit too small for this particular ball chain. Maybe a little piece of leather would look nice, but they do fit onto my keychain. I just opened a link and popped them in there. Now this, I haven't done this yet. I just wanted to see if it would fit. So that's my piece I cut out. And that's my piece that I cut out. So there you go. Don't worry, I haven't gone ahead without you. So what I'm using is this. This is the holographic paper. Holographic vinyl sheets. So it has 10 different colors in there. But I wanted to use like a bluey green, oceany colors today. So what I've picked, when I did this one, I did half of the blue and half of that sort of a dark blue purple. But when I cut this one out, if I can pick it up, I just cut out of the blue section. So I've actually marked there. I'm going to cut another one out. I marked where it was on this side, and I drew around with a pencil. I'm going to cut that one out. So that's that one. It's a sparkly one. And then I've got these two. These are just more of the holographic ones from that packet I showed you. So this one's like a greeny blue, and this one's more of a bluey green. This one's got more green and that one's got more blue in it. So I've done the same thing. I've just marked out my little circle of where I want to cut on that one and on this one. So I am going to cut those out. Excuse my bruise. I don't know if you can see my bruise. I was lifting boxes and I bruised. So if you can see my bruise, then that's what it is. I'm not sure what you can see in the screen. All right, so here we go. I'm just going to do one of these and then move on to the next section. So that's that one. That's that one. Now to get the shape of the turtle, I got a piece of baking paper. And I just laid the baking paper over the top, and I just, with my pencil, I just went around and kind of traced, and then I cut that out. And then I'm using that for all my little pieces. So that's what I did. And then I've got this one as well to cut out. I think I'm doing 4 today. 4 little turtles, because I've already cut the one out. We'll see. Either 3 or 4. So those, I need to cut those out. Move those out of the way. So these are stickers. Now when you cut, just cut on the inside of your line. We'll just do one. Hopefully I can peel the back of this sticker off. If you don't want to put a sticker on, you can use nail polish. I've used nail polish before. That works really well. I would advise against putting a layer of resin on, only because they're not very deep. And if you go putting a layer of resin on, you're not going to have any room for your seafoam. Alright, so that's that one. Now, I wonder if I can peel the back off. It's never as easy to peel the back off, is it? Especially with a tiny little piece. Come on. More fingers and thumbs today. There we go, got it. There we go, look at that. Okay, so it's sticky. This one's sticky. And then we're just going to, hopefully he'll fit. I should have checked him first before I peeled the back off, shouldn't I? I don't think it makes any difference. Anyway, just push it in. There we go. If it's a little bit bigger, that's fine. You can just sort of push it into the edges there with your nail. So that's that one done. Look at that. And I've cut out a piece of this already. So that's what it would look like. Look at that. I don't know if you can pick up the blueies and the greenies, but that's what that one would look like. So I'm going to cut these two out. Oh, I need to show you this, don't I? That's the other thing. You can use your little template. This is a little bit thin, like to use on this. I mean, you could, because you can see where you want like to put it. You can see through. So pick an area that you want to use. Maybe there. Pick an area that you like the look of. And then I just go around the outside with my pen, just marking all the little white lines. Because those white lines, well, yeah, those are the lines that you're going to cut. And you're going to cut on the inside of that pen line that you're making. All the way around. Better off going a little bit bigger, if, like with your lines. It's a bit tricky to do, but you get the general idea. And then, again, cut, when you're cutting, cut on the inside of your black line. Because A, you don't want to see the black line on your pendant or your keychain. And B, when you put your paper on, you're drawing on the outside of your paper, your template. So you need to cut on the inside of your black line. And it's very easy to cut, and you can make it a little bit smaller if you need to later on. If you've made it a little bit too big, easily just cut it off later on, make it a bit smaller. There we go. So that's what we've ended up with. And I'm going to use the other side. So you can just trim it. We'll see if it fits first. I've got 1, 2, buckle my shoe, put that one in. So these little edges here just need trimming up on that side, so I'll just trim those. Just do a little bit at a time. You can always take a bit more off if you need to, and then fit it back in. Perfect, look at that. So it's wedged in there quite nicely. All right, so that's those ones done. 1, 2, 3. I need to do one more. And I'll cut these two. Oh, you're for there, aren't you? You're for there. So I'm going to cut the others out. And I'm going to mix up my resin, because I didn't want to do it now while I was doing this, because my resin would go off. So I'm just going to do one more for that. Cut those two out. Mix up my resin, and then I will be back. And I'll show you how to dome. Those of you that don't know how to dome, we will be doming. Yes, we will. Righto, so I have mixed up my resin. And I decided to do another couple. And I decided on this kind of greeny yellowy colour. So, because, you know, green turtles. So that's these two here. So I had to mix up a little bit. Well, I didn't mix up any more resin. I just made another couple of these. Push them in. Now, when I did these, the little bail on the end there is not level with the back of that, so I had to hang it over the edge of something. But these sit nice and flat. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop them on some baking paper, just in case they overflow. So don't want them to overflow, hey? How's that? There we go, just in case. Make sure everyone's lying flat. Now I'm just going to make sure that we're back in screen. Oops. I'll just move you up just a touch. There we go. Make sure that everybody's in frame. There we go. All right, so now comes the time to do the doming. So I've only mixed up a little bit of resin. It's the Platinum 360 Plus. So it sets up nice and quick. It's relatively thick. It's good for top coating and doming. So there it is in there. Just made up a little bit. I did 25 grams of A and 12 grams of B. Right, so here we go. And it's good to put in a little paper cup because, you know, you don't need very much at all. Let's start here. Now, I was going to show you the mold. Hang on one sec. I just need to unmold it. I'll show you the mold for those of you who haven't seen it. Let me just grab one. I meant to do it before I turned the camera on, but I forgot. So there it is. That's the mold that these come from. Now, when I made these a little while ago, just with leftover resin. It's really handy to have one. You can just chuck your leftover resin in there. But and I didn't know what I was going to do with it, so I made it quite thick. I filled it up to the top. But if you're doing something like this, which doesn't have a very deep allowance, maybe just pour half full. Don't pour them totally up to the top, and then it'll be a little bit easier for you to dome. I'm not sure if we'll be able to cover that or not, but we'll see. So anyway, a little trick for you: don't pour them too deep if you're doing bezels. This one was all right. Okay, here we go. Enough talking. I'm going to drip a little bit in. Yes, I only made up a tiny amount. I think any smaller amount is really hard to mix. I'm just going to put a few little drops in each, and then I'll go on and put a little bit more on. So it'll just make its way into all those little holes. So we'll just do a little bit, and then we can come back and do a little bit more. You just don't want to flood them so that it all runs off and makes a mess, because that would be terrible. I'm also hoping that these are waterproof. I actually tried to put some alcohol ink in them before, and the alcohol ink dripped out the side, so I know they're not totally waterproof, but I'm hoping the resin's thick enough that it won't drip through. I mean, they've obviously made two bits of metal and stuck them together, so they're not totally waterproof. Tight seal. Okay, there's that. Make sure you wipe your drips off the end of your little cup there. I'm going to put a little bit more in. If you, oops, I'm going over the edge. If you wanted to, you could use a piping bag. Lifted that up. Yeah, you could use a piping bag just to be a little bit more careful. I've gone over the edge there on that one. So this is going to obviously take me a little bit of time, but just go slow. I'm probably rushing. Just go slow. And if you do have a little overflow like that, just wipe it up. But yeah, you could put it in a little piping bag, or you could even use a little syringe like this and just draw some up and then just, you know, put it where you wanted it. So that would work too, because really you're doing just a few drops at a time. So yeah, just take your time. It's a little bit more tricky than the bigger pendant because they are small, but just do a drop or so at a time. Make sure you wipe that because it drips down the side. Just a drop at a time because it will level itself out. So basically that's it. And then what you can do is, I'm actually going to use my little silicone tip here. just to help spread it. So it's going to take me a little while. I won't video the whole thing because I'm going to take my time and you know, do it properly. Another little drop each. Whoops, I've gone over. Whoops, 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 whoops. There's no reason why you couldn't go over, you know, if you could do the whole side in resin, but that's not what I had in mind. I'm having trouble with this one. Maybe I've cut the white a little bit too big. Maybe, no, I don't think so. It's probably further away from me, so I'm stretching over. So basically, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to keep going and add a little drop at a time. And then, you know, you can use your little silicone pointer to push into the little holes. But yeah, just, as I said, just go slowly, a drop at a time, because if you put too much on, it's just going to all just wash over the edges, so just be careful. It's dripping down the side there. They're almost full and don't take very much at all. I want the resin to come this way a little bit into that hole there. Yeah, so just use your little something pointy that you can, you know, move your resin around with, because you need to get it to the edges. So anyway, I'm not going to bore you with doing this to every one of them. I will stop the video and I'll take my time, I'll get them all done, and then when they're set, it's dripping down there. I'm waiting for the drop and it's dripping down there. Oh gosh. Yeah, when they're set, I'll show you tomorrow. So you want them to dome. You need to use a nice thick resin. You know, like an art coat or a top coating resin, something like that, because it's already thicker, so it's going to cling to the edges better. Oh gosh, that was a big drop. Hope that doesn't overflow. Yeah, so try and use a nice thick resin to begin with, because it will cling to the edges much more. Resin will kind of round at the edges. It's called doming. It'll kind of go rounded at the edges. But if you're using a really thin resin, it won't do that. It'll just all run off. So try a nice thick resin to begin with, and it shouldn't be a problem. I haven't even got resin into that yet, into that little area there. Getting there, getting there. Oh, they're looking so pretty. I really love this one. These ones. They're kind of a bluey green. Oh, that's so pretty. And then, of course, when you put the resin on, they look even better, even more sparkly. So yeah, just continue one drop at a time until they're full. I'm going to keep doing this, and then I'll come back once I've done them. I'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like when they're domed. Oh no, I have a leak. Oh dear, I have a leak. I was going to turn the camera off, but I need to fix up my leaks. So yeah, if you do get a leak, don't stress, just wipe it. It's clear resin, so if anything goes onto your actual turtle's legs, it's not going to matter. No one's going to see it because it's just, you know, clear resin, so don't stress too much. Just get off what you can. Baby wipes are really good for that as well. Alright, so I'm going to stop now, take my time, finish it off, and get these gloves off, and then I'll come back to you shortly and show you what they look like domed. Righto, let's have a look at these little guys. There's one missing because my niece Molly, she loved one of them. I think it was one of these ones. And I said, oh, you can have it. So she put a keychain on it and a little hook and a little tassel, and yeah, she loved it. So that's why it's missing, but it's gone to a good home. Now, this is the one that had that sparkle vinyl on it, and I'll see if we can see how it's doming. It's a little bit difficult to see, but see how it's higher? It's beautiful and smooth. So that's that one. And then this is the same with the sparkle, but it just doesn't have a keychain on it just yet. Love them. Let me know which you prefer, whether you like these sparkly ones or whether you prefer just the plain. Now this is also the vinyl, and you can see it changes from kind of a yellowy gold to the green. Really pretty. So there's two of those in the green. That's what the back looks like. And then there's these two, which these are a little bit different. Remember how I said one was a bluey green and one was a greeny blue? So this is the one that's more blue, and that's the one that's more green. So it sort of shows light blue and dark blue. Love them. That's my favourite, I think. Oh no, this one. Oh, this is my favourite. This one shows the blue and the green. Yep, that's right. That's my favourite one. Not the blue green, the green blue. So that's it there. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Grab yourself one of my seafoam molds if you haven't already got one. They're really handy to have, like if you've just got a little bit of leftover resin and you don't want to waste it, you just pour it into that. You can do all different colours, but if you're doing the sea turtles, obviously you'd want to do white, I think. So there we go. Hope you've enjoyed my little video, and I'll see you real soon for the next video. Okay, take care. Bye for now.